All right, hey guys, I did a thing. I grew a garden and I grew some basil, and I'm gonna get some pesto cooking and going, and some pasta and some chicken, and make some basil pesto pasta chicken stuff. But while I do that, I'm gonna tell you a story. So while this is cooking and before I burn something, let me tell you a story that makes literally everything I complain about feel extremely dramatic. Because today's story involves a man, a mountain, and temperatures so cold your eyelashes would simply quit. So there's this British war veteran named Hari Budha Magar. Lovely human, family man from Canterbury, England. Very normal guy. Except for one tiny detail. He lost both of his legs in Afghanistan while serving in the British Army. And if you're thinking, well, that's heartbreaking. Yes, it absolutely is, but stay with me. Because this story somehow gets more intense and more hopeful and slightly unhinged in the best way. 15 years ago, Hari was injured by an IED explosion. He survived, but his life changed completely. The physical recovery was brutal. The mental recovery even harder. He struggled with depression, addiction, suicidal thoughts, the feeling of losing not just your body, but your sense of purpose. And that's something a lot of us don't talk about enough. The grief of becoming a different version of yourself. But instead of letting that be the end of his story, Hari did something unexpected. He jumped out of a plane, like skydiving, because apparently his coping mechanism is maximum chaos. Then he started skiing, and somewhere in between falling out of the sky and sliding down mountains, he remembered a childhood dream, climbing Mount Everest. Which again, he does not have legs, so I'm gonna lie to you, if I miss one workout, I'm like, well, guess that dream is dead. But here's where things get interesting. When Hari first applied to climb Everest, he was denied permission by Nepalese authorities because of his disability. The rule was simple, no amputees allowed. So Hari did what any reasonable person would do. He challenged the ruling in court and won. And then 4 years later, he climbed Everest anyway. 13 years after losing his legs. Fewer than 500 people in the entire world have climbed the 7 summits, the tallest mountain on each continent. Hari decided he wasn't just going to do Everest, he was going to do all 7. Europe, Africa, Asia, North America, South America, Oceania, Antarctica, 7 mountains, 6 years. Custom designed prosthetics, new feet, new sockets, new legs, built specifically to survive brutal terrain and freezing temperatures. He worked with engineers, prosthetic experts, and even parajumpers to design a suit that could handle Antarctic cold, because apparently frostbite is also not on his vision board. Meanwhile, I'm over here Googling if my olive oil is still good. Recently, Hari completed his final summit, Mount Vinson in Antarctica. 3 days of climbing, minus negative 13 degree temperatures. At times, he was literally crawling on all fours, dragging himself up the mountain. And still, he talks about stopping to look around and admire the view. Like, yes, I'm freezing. Yes, this is excruciating. But wow, nature. And just like that, he became the first above-the-knee double amputee in history to climb the highest peak on every continent. But here's the part that sticks with me the most. Hari says that if he were offered his legs back today, he would say no, because losing them gave him a mission. His entire journey, every climb, every mountain, is about disability awareness, about changing how the world sees what's possible, about reminding people that a disability should never limit the size of your dream. You might need to adapt, you might need help, you might need new tools, new ways of thinking, or a whole lot of support, but it doesn't mean the dream disappears. Alright, quick check. Nothing's burning. We're thriving over here. So I'm telling you this story while we cook, not because I expect anyone watching to go climb in Antarctica, but because if Hari can crawl up a frozen mountain with no legs, you can try again, you can start over, you can finish the meal, you can take the next step, however that looks for you. Your mountain doesn't have to be Everest. It might be getting through the week, healing, creating, resting, feeding yourself something warm, and today, our mountain is dinner. So stir the pot, smile a little, and remember you're capable of more than you think.